We're going to start off today here with some titanium white, a little bit of yellow ochre, a little bit of cad yellow, mostly titanium white. Actually, it's not that bright. I need to go darker than that. You can see this is quite a bit different. This is my Stay Wet palette. I'm not sponsored by them. I really don't care whether you buy one or not. I don't even know if they're good. I'm trying something. I've got some wet paper towels down here. I've soaked them in water and I put my paint on top. You may be wondering why. Well, I saw Jerry Arnell do it. And actually I know a couple of people that also have done it or were telling me about it or something. I can't quite remember. But some people that I know who are professional artists said, at least one person, said that they did it or had some sort of experience, but I can't remember if it was a good experience. So it doesn't help much. But anyway, and Jerry Arnell used to do that. Anyway, the reason I'm doing that is because it's fairly late right now and I'm not going to finish this painting tonight. I don't want to rush it. And I've got a really busy day tomorrow, just doing a bunch of random things that are not art related that I have to get done. And so I'm not going to be finishing this tomorrow either. And so I'm going to have a very dry palette. So I'm going to try, hopefully this keeps my palette wet. Maybe these colors will dry, but I don't know. I'm just trying it. Now I spent just a moment here doing a rough basic sketch. Just a quick update on my palette. The paint's running down. That's because I've got this palette, actually, I can't tell, it looks flat, but it's actually quite an extreme angle off to my side. And I just do that so it's kind of facing me and the light doesn't mess with it too much. But anyway, I'm sure if you had it flat on a table, this would be far better. But as it is, just wanted to try it. I'll lay it flat. I'll remove it from its little stand here. It's actually on a music stand, in case anybody was interested. And my point is, I will put it flat tonight before I quit painting. But I'm enjoying this little process. I've only just started. Okay, up in here, I see some trees that I want to create here. Some very, very faint little trees. Now, quick tip for you, if you're brand new to acrylic painting, acrylics do dry out about one shade darker, so keep that in mind as you're choosing your color. There we go. Boom, that looks really quite decent. Really quite decent. Very subtle because I'm anticipating it darkening up a little bit, so I don't need a whole lot. Want that to disappear behind my little cabin. The log cabin, of course, being the central focus of the painting, the feature. Almost feels like I have some trees already coming out of this mist. There's two ways to paint mist. You can either paint your landscape and put the mist on top. That works really well. Or you can paint your landscape with the mist already integrated in the colors. That works really well. That works far better with oil. Acrylic, it's a toss-up. You could do either way. I'm gonna, for the most part, it seems like I'm going to be doing it, building it in, but you could just as easily switch. Or do a little bit of both, whatever you like. Do a little bit of both. Not too much red in that background. Not too much red in the background. Okay, this is official. I need you to like and to share this video because I am officially a real artist. Let me show you on the palette. I ran out of black paint today and I just mixed my own. Here's some blue, burnt umber, sap green, and red. That makes a beautiful black. See, I can actually do it. I can mix black. I'm a real artist now. Yes! So with this black that I've mixed, I'm going to add it in here to the side. You know, I think I want more burnt umber in my black. Add it in here to some of these darker trees. Is now the right time to do the trees? I don't know. I just want to get them blocked in. Doesn't much matter. I'm going to do the darker ones first. Oops, looks like we're going to have a limb there. Actually, this is acrylic, so I can just wipe it off if I don't want it. Real quick, I want to take a second and let you know that I've got full-length DVD or digital download lessons available in the description. These full-length lessons are high quality and they show you every single brushstroke with a lot of close-ups so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's really important that you practice the right way and you don't practice the techniques the wrong way and have to unlearn it. So I highly suggest, if you're able to go ahead and try a couple of these lessons because I really think you'll enjoy them and I believe it'll take your art to the next level. I've got everything from techniques to beginner series to a whole bunch of kind of intermediate and advanced, which even if you're a beginner, you can totally do those as well. And I'm constantly updating and adding new lessons, so be sure to check back if you haven't in a couple weeks or a month. I check back every month. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for your support, buying the brushes and the DVDs and the paint and everything. It really does help out our channel a lot. And it keeps me, able to make more videos and more paintings and more lessons and all that good stuff. Thank you for your support. Let's get back to the video. And anyway, there you go. There you go. I'm going to paint these trees in slightly lighter. Yeah, completely ran out of black. Kind of crazy. And I don't feel like going over to Dad's house and getting some black. So we're just going to roll with it. That's where I'd have to go, and I don't want to do that right now. Don't want to make the trip. Boom, there we go. That looks really decent. Now I'm going to tap in, actually got a little too much paint there on my brush. I'm going to tap in some foliage here. This is going to be a major theme of this painting, is tapping in foliage. But you know what? By not getting up here and rushing it, could I do it with a 2-inch flat blender brush? Absolutely. Could totally do that. And would it come out looking great? It would. It would be just fine. But the leaves would be pretty big. And I want smaller leaves in the background. And I just want more of a detailed look. If I was doing a live stream or a painting class or something, I'd be in here, boom, boom, boom. Bigger leaves, no problem. But I wanted to make this painting a little bit more high quality in the level of brush stroke. And I just wanted more. I wanted to do more with it, you know what I mean? And so for that reason, I'm going to do a lot of, if not all of my leaves with just this little old number 4 bristle brush. Pretty. And I'm going to, when I say I'm going to layer colors, I really do mean I'm going to layer a lot of color. A lot of color. I'm going to try to get as many color variations in there as I reasonably can. Maybe more than that. Just to create a beautiful effect. If you ever get anything you don't like, just touch it gently and it should just boom, boom, blend right away. I'm going to begin to subtly add in some little branches to the trees, some trunks and branches, not just branches. Now, obviously a lot of these can be done with the liner brush, but it is easier, I find, to do the major limbs with a microfilbert brush. It's a pretty tiny brush. This one's fairly worn out. You'd do better with a new one. Maybe I should go get a new one. There we go. Boom, that's pretty. Yeah, just get a few of these little, I'm just grabbing colors. Just whatever colors I can get that are kind of soft and neutral left over. Mostly I'm just continually taking a squirt bottle and misting my palette. So far I'm very, very pleased with that paper towel. I'll give you an update how that works whenever I decide to stop for tonight. Okay, I can reestablish these trunks now as deeper, bigger. There we go. And I'll do it more carefully this time around. And see these beautiful pockets of light that are beginning. I mean, just look at how that went from really quite bland. I don't like that area, or I didn't like that area. Put a few trunks in it and like, boom, it's nice all of a sudden. Yes. I can do the same over here. And it is totally fun and okay to have a little fun with your painting. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. And that is totally fine. I thought now would be as good a time as I'm actually running out of white. That's all right. I'm going to stop. I'm going to go resupply my black and white before I pick this painting back up again. But anyway, I just wanted to, and I thought now would be as good a time as any to figure out what kind of highlights I want in my grass. Boom, boom, boom. See, I can smatter. See, it don't have to be perfect. You just smatter some highlight back there and we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I'm just going to smatter some highlight here. It's nice to have that toned canvas. Very glad we did that. I typically will do that. I highly encourage you to tone your canvases for acrylic painting, but also for oil. I don't do it probably as much as I should. I think it really is a valuable thing to do. Highly, highly recommend toning a canvas. Just can't, it doesn't hurt anything. That's for sure. Doesn't hurt anything. I want to let this dry before I go try to add too many highlights so it'll actually mix mud. Acrylic is bad about mixing mud. You don't think about, you think, no, acrylic's not bad for mixing mud, but it can be because acrylics don't like to be layered while they're wet. It's important to let the layer dry because you will mix mud if you don't let those layers dry in between. Well, it's the next day, and in case you didn't know, I already took the lid off. The lid does not come off that easily. And it was wet. The paper towels were still wet. Over here where the red was a little bit on the drier side, but for the most part it was wet. Now, this palette area has completely dried, but that's all right. I'll just mix right on top. This is a glass palette. I don't even know why I'm making a big deal about that. This video, I don't know, it's just kind of an experiment I wanted to try. I've had the palette for a while. I think I bought it on Jerry's or something. I don't even know. But anyway, let's go ahead and just begin to add in some details. Obviously, the painting here is dry, and I've got some black paint now, which is a bonus. So what do we want to do? We can do anything we want at this point, couldn't we? Let's go ahead and begin to put on some detail to our beautiful little buildings. I'm going to start here with some yellow ochre and white. Sometimes it's nice to step away and come back. I do like the paper towels. I mean, that yellow, I did not squirt out any more yellow, and it's good. Same with the burnt umber. It's good still. I mean, you're saving pennies, but my goodness, it might be worth it. I like that I just don't have to throw away the paint, you know? Because every one of those blobs would have been dry a long time ago. So it definitely works. So with the paper towel. Without the paper towel, it won't work. And I don't think it actually works very well for oils. I don't think it works well for oils. Put it in the comments if you've got a different experience than I have. But the one time I tried it for oils, it didn't work. I believe it would be worthwhile moving forward into the water area at this point. Now I've got two choices. You might be thinking, what are your two choices? I don't know, let me figure it out. But sure sounded good, didn't it? No, the two choices are, I can either map in my lights just where I want them, or if I'd rather, which with acrylic is perfectly safe, or I can go ahead and just paint the entire thing in and then go back and then paint my dark cabin, like my cabin reflection. So it's like, do I want to carry my lights through the cabin or not? With acrylic, it's safe both ways. I'm going to leave it open, and I'll tell you why, and not cover it all up, because I feel like that's just built-in midtone that I can utilize. So let me see. We'll see if I'm right. I think so. You know, I think it's going to work out better. Let's try it. I'm not too worried about this. I just want to create, there it is, just some of this real soft. The tree is tall, so it's actually coming all the way down into the foreground, like so. Yeah, look at that. I actually think we're starting to get somewhere. Just with that little bit, just a little bit of detail, we're already starting to get somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to play around with this for quite a while. Probably take my time on it. I'll check back in when I got something that's a little different to show you. Now this reflection isn't done, but I'm going to let it, it's not quite dry. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to dry. While I'm doing that, I'm just going to take some of these various colors, some dark colors and whatnot, and I'm going to paint the bank here because I want this beautiful steep bank. I think that'll give it so much depth and interest and some really, I don't know, just some nice texture to the painting, something that feels a little different. I am planning to have some rocks and boulders. I haven't actually established them yet, but of course you've seen it by the thumbnail. It's no surprise to you. Isn't that funny? No surprises. I should just put a little question mark on every painting and make you actually look at it and click it and watch the video, see what's going to happen so that you have an experience more like mine. There we go. A few of these rocks in so you can soften up the cabin. I think we should have some rocks scattered around the cabin, like so. Kind of get some of that in. Into some rocks. There we go. Sometimes people like to stack rocks around their house, you know. Okay, well, there you go. We're just going to continue to work and do the same on this side as well. See, that just really already helps and gives you an idea how dark your reflections need to be. I'm going to begin to work in some detail here on the roof. I think a beautiful golden color would be appropriate, so let's work on that. You know, I believe not only did, you know, this is not overly important. You wouldn't have to use this on a Stay Wet palette, but, you know, you could just do it on your regular palette. But it's I didn't finish my thought. I jumped in mid-thought. The paper towel thing, saturated with water, it's keeping my paints from drying out. Normally when I paint with acrylic, I get a crusty layer on top pretty quickly, and that's not happening here. So that's really cool. I'd do that again just for that. Stay Wet palette, I guess, just sort of keeps the mess contained. I don't know. I bought it, so I might continue to use it. But I'm going to come up here and just create some shingles. Actually, I should be starting at the bottom of the roof and working up. There we go. It doesn't actually, for a painting, really matter. Just leave bunches of gaps, and you're going to need probably 5 colors of shingles. If you get in there and just do 2 colors, well, guess what? It'll look like you used 2 colors. It will not be as nice as 5 colors. Just a nice old rugged roof. Lots of interesting detail, color, texture. Good stuff up here. And honestly, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's an old abandoned cabin or shack, a little hunting shack or something. I don't know, fishing, maybe a little fishing shack. Who knows? Or somebody's house. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Let your viewer decide. Okay, something I'm not very familiar with, but that's not going to keep me from trying. I want to paint a little tiny little deer over here. And I'm hoping, after I do all this hard work of painting a little deer, I need to lighten that color because I'm pushing him further away than that. I'm not painting him overly close. I'm hoping that I don't cover him. It needs to be a little darker. Obviously, acrylics dry 1 shade darker. So I'm just going to paint a little deer, a little head, and I may need to stop actually and search a picture of a deer. Does that look like a deer? Or does that look like a blob? I may need to get that. I think I got the body way too. I don't know. Forget that. Let me wipe that off. I'm going to find a picture. Just know I'm going to paint a deer up here. I got to find a picture. Let me do one more. Maybe I can do it. It's just a blob. I've seen enough deers in the field. My goodness, I've seen enough deer. I should be able to do this. I'm not a wildlife guy yet. That looks silly. Ooh, this is horrible. I'll come back. Okay, I've pulled up an image, some copyright free wallpaper or something. Doesn't matter. It's just a deer. I'm just getting an idea of what it should look like. It needs to be, I don't know. I don't want it to be too, again, not too dark. I think that's critical. Okay. Okay, here we go. So it's got this like a little bit of a neck like that. Got a body like that. Rounded up with a leg like this and that and that. Just a real subtle indication of a leg. There we go. Now see, it already looks better. Already looks better. Head, very tiny. Very tiny. And just like some ears just looking. Okay, the head looks, what's going on here? Well, those deer are looking at me in the picture. The neck is too thick. Let me try it one more time. I don't want to go too dark. I keep saying that, but maybe I should go a little darker. I don't know. I'm going to go here and here. That's the ears of the deer. The deer is going to be looking at us. Huge, huge little ears. The neck and the body. And the back leg. Front legs. Okay, is that a little deer out there? It could be. I'm going to mix up a quick color, and this is just a simple highlight color for the grass. There you go. So I'll worry about shadows later. I just want to reinforce some of the highlight, just get a little bit of grassy texture, small texture, not big texture, right out here. This would be better off doing this, of course, after you do your water. So make sure you're happy with your water here in the background before continuing, ideally. This is all pretty close, mid-ground stuff here. There's a lot of atmosphere. Those deer are relatively close-ish in the grand scheme of things, I guess. Like I said, I'm disregarding shadow. My point, I mean, that's a big tree there. My point is, I'm okay to see individual blades of grass back this far in the painting, where typically maybe I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I'm going to continually mix up my color, change it up, more ochre, more cad yellow, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. Just get your finger in there, blend it. If you need to, here's a tip. You're going to need to. There we go. See, look at this. I'm still messing with this silly little millimeter of a area of the canvas. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. If you guys have any tips or have any suggestions for me doing, I want to get to where I can put some wildlife in my paintings, which I have in the past, but you know, I don't do it much, but for this exact reason I can do it. But man, I feel like it fights me. Let me know your techniques and your thoughts in the comment section. Now I realize it's mainly in the shadows here, but sometimes detail in the shadows is a very, very interesting thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just picking out bits and pieces here and there. That's kind of funny. Trying to figure out, hey, here's a little highlight, here's a little shadow. This is an old board leaning up against the house, you know. There's an old farm tool of some fashion, an old pot here of some kind. You know, a barrel, I don't know, maybe it goes down. It doesn't matter. In fact, I gotta be super careful that that doesn't come out too bright, because it's the shadow side, isn't it? Isn't it? Just little bits and bobs, and then clutter. And over on this side, we're just gonna do more clutter like so. See, that just is interesting. This is an old, something's up against the door perhaps. And then on that side, if I want to, I can actually add in some purple. I love purple in the shadow. Anybody else here like purple? Let me know in the comments if you like purple in the shadows. There we go. Boom. And then just dots of color and broken pieces, patches in the wall. I don't know. It doesn't matter what it is. It just sort of is something. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's kind of interesting, you know? Just a little, could be who knows what down in here. Just don't want it too bright. So I've got just a kind of an orangey color, but it's thinned down with a little water. You could use foundation medium, but I've got my little fan brush and I'm simply stippling on a few little leaves. I don't need a lot, just enough to show, hey, there's some larger leaves. Actually go right over that cabin. I'm going to sprinkle these leaves here in the water, but I'm going to give them a little sideways. I'm not going to just go every which way. I'm going to kind of go sideways. Okay, and what that's doing is it's just creating the look of a few leaves that are floating in the water, and we'll give them drop shadows and whatnot. I think you'll like it. I can actually also, if I want to, get up in here and highlight, if I feel like it even needs it, just a little sprinkling of a highlight on some of these leaves here, just so it's not so flat in this area. Feels kind of unfinished to me. What about you? To me, it feels just a little unfinished. So let's fix it. Okay, it has been fixed. Well, mostly. Okay, well, that about wraps things up for today. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. There's quite a bit of detail, but I had fun doing it. Don't forget to check out our website, DVDs, brush line, and Patreon. Thanks for watching. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe if you're not already, and click the like button. It helps me out a lot. Stick around, watch a couple more videos, and stay inspired.